Hello there, everybody. Welcome to ELU Week 8. I am your solo caster for right now. I'm very sorry about that. Just seeing my picture right there of the cat. Forgot about that little guy right there. There are some substitutes in effect for this game right now. I know for sure Nobody is playing mid lane for sure, and Mr. Machizo is playing support for the side of New York Mutants. And then on Rev, I think we have two substitutes going in right now. Wait, Mom's playing? Okay, so Piano Ninja, Mom of the League, has officially been activated as a sub for Revolution, and Fluoride is making his ELU debut as well. Now, this is not the first time that Mom has played in a ELU game, but this is the first time we are seeing Fluoride, who I think is the master tier sub, and only could have been on the Revolution. So if there was a game to win for the Revolution, this would be it, baby. This ought to be very interesting. It is Mom's first Season 2 game, because she did play in Season 1. I believe that we are going to be in a nice little area here as the teams are in Champ Select right now. By the way, Jazz, you're not streaming. As I am being pestered by my lovely orange cat right now to let him inside the room so he can come and cry at me. But it is a very wonderful Saturday night here in the sunny side of Florida. The coldest we got tonight was, I think, about, 20, 30 degrees? No, 20, 30 Celsius. So right now it is, oh no, they just updated it. It is a cool, nice and chilly 68 degrees right now in southern Florida in the middle of the beginning of December. Next week, I am going to suffer because next week I have an outside activity to do at a volunteer at an animal shelter that I'm doing because my friend asked me to do it, and it is going to be 85 degrees outside with 100% humidity. Oh boy. I help out my friends because I care about them. Yeah, it's whatever. At least they'll be cute animals, so I'm not too mad about that. I'm really not. I'm not too mad about that. One of them, I'm a repeat volunteer at this shelter. Oh, man, that's okay. The last time I was there, I think there was a dog there that he just got adopted, but he had a bladder issue where if he got too excited, he would just constantly pee himself. So I couldn't see him for a while because he would just see me get super excited, and then he would pee. Okay, I'm sorry. I am just spitballing here. Okay, thank you. We are in our 3-minute prison here, as it is going to be. The roles have been secured. Fichi is in the top lane. Diamond Sun is in the jungle. I didn't do it, I swear, Mom. Support. Taco Nova, ADC, and the Masters mid laner on the Kale versus Annie matchup. Then we have Mini Soko playing the Mordekaiser top, Hecarim for the Solomon Khan, Annie for Nobody, Hextex on the Caitlyn, and Shooter McFappin, which is Mr. Machizo. I don't know why he changed his name to that. Yeah. Soundwave, that's not something you should tell us. Alright. Just waiting for the 40-second timer to be up. Hope you guys enjoyed the little music section of ELU. One of the first times. I think we were just playing Riot music, right? The best point of Riot music. So in food news, because apparently Mikey wanted me to do this again, I learned how to make fried rice. Apparently, I can do it really simple. So I'm going to do it really simple. I'm just going to put 2 eggs and microwaved rice in a small bowl, mix that up with some soy sauce, oyster sauce, and a little bit of cooking wine. And I'm going to put all that in there, and then I'm going to go ahead and make that for fried rice. All right, I think we are getting in game right now. So things to note of interesting things. It is press the attack on the Urgot Conqueror. All right. It is not going to be a lethal tempo Kale, as usually is done by the popular Kale streamers. It is going to be press the attack Kale. And we're going to have nobody on the Predator Animate as well. Same, not going to be Guardian Lux, going to be Arcane Comet Lux. And I think pretty simple from here on out for everything that's here. Doran's Blade going to be picked up by Mr. Lucian and Mr. Urgot. Not going to go for the Longsword, which is traditionally the better build right now because it's just much cheaper to buy your items with it. As Longsword has technically become the better option, but I still see the value in Doran's Blade as well. Pretty normal from everyone. D-Shield, top, yep, pretty usual. Both D-Rings mid lane. So, should be a relatively good game. My personal thoughts on this game, I do think that this game would go in favor of New York Mutants just because I think they are just the more dominant team. But I really want to see what Fluoride has to bring to the table. And he is going to be a part of the draft pool next split. So that should be really interesting. Jez, may I request if I get an analyst? I think I don't. I need Circle Game 1. I would ask to put my mid laner on, but I know he's doing a tryout right now. As we are going to get normal starts right here, both bot sides will be leashing their junglers as we're going to get pretty even right now. Nobody, not exactly the mid lane position maestro, as one would say, but it is still very much appreciated that he is able to switch it for his team right then and there. Pretty even training going on right now. Just a little bit fast to clear right now from the Hecarim. Already on the Wolves, as Zinzao is just now finishing the Raptors right now. Pretty even. I do want to see how that Urgot Mordekaiser matchup is going to go because it's become a weird thing in ELU where Urgot is like the Mord is supposed to stop the Urgot pick, but I don't think personally, as somebody who plays a ton of Mordekaiser, it is. As I think Urgot's just damage with the shotgun and doing max HP damage is just too much for you to handle at a point as Urgot, unless you are able to rush the Bramble and the Ninja Tabbies, or sorry, whatever they called, plated steel caps. As bot lane is getting heavily poked out at this point. Just the Lux and the Caitlyn abusing the lethal tempo range, just abusing the Lux poke with the Qs hitting some nice snares as well, as they do have the Soraka, so they are going to be healthy enough to stay in this lane for a long time as much as possible. But you can't be eating those bindings like that because you are going to get hit by the Caitlyn Q as well. One of the more oppressive bot lanes I've seen in a long time is Caitlyn Lux, because if you are just snared by that Caitlyn, or the Lux, I'm sorry, then you get hit with the Caitlyn trap. The Caitlyn E's back, Q is mid-animation, while the headshot procs twice. If you can do it fast enough, man, that is some damage. As right now, there's going to be first blood coming in right there. That's a nice little shot with the instant teleport response. Heal is used, and Fiji will flash and get that kill. Will barely miss the slam, but now this is going to be another trade kill in return because he gets minion blocked onto the traps. Vici with the pre-4-minute teleport trying to help his team will end up costing them much more. Does get that trade kill back, but now Hextech is now 2-0 on this Caitlyn. Another good thing to note is that mid lane is slowly getting a lead right now. Kayle having a CS lead is very advantageous for her. You do have the late game option confirmed with this Kayle because Kayle will just scale insanely hard as well. Urgot can scale pretty well as well. The Mordekaiser, just kind of doing the thing. He will have to pick up that Kayle, or he can't really do much else for the team because that's a lot of damage return, as Piano is going to go ahead. Sorry, I didn't do it, I swear. It's going to go ahead and hit those Qs as Xin Zhao is bot lane. Just going ahead to clear that Tri-Vision as much as possible. Hextech is now going to back. They are going to try and freeze this wave right here. Try and just... No, they're going to push it. So we had an even lane state back once both minion waves hit each other. And now the interesting things to note, to buying Blasting Wall already completed for the Mordekaiser, so that Q damage is going to be doing about 192, 191, 190-ish, around that area with the Q isolation damage. Of course, not isolated, it's doing about maybe 130, because that's just how Mordekaiser works. Vici nice, able to dodge that Mordekaiser E there. Otherwise, there would have been a guaranteed Solomon Khan gate. Speaking of that, it's already a guaranteed Solomon Khan gate because right now he's just going to go in and flips the Mordekaiser. Just going to use his shotgun knees as much as he can. Not going to confirm it. He will fall to the gank. Not having that teleport back. Mordekaiser is going to rightly push this in as much as he can. Make sure Vici loses as many waves as possible for this. Soraka just eating a ton of poke bot lane. Already going to get rooted up, snared up, locked up, and that's a headshot right at the Goat Mom. Very, very, very unfortunate for the Goat Mom. But I do think that it is okay right now. I don't know if I am Rev that I want to be down this much early on, but at this point, I think with you having a Kayle mid, trying to best to do it. I mean, isn't do you want me to see if I can get somebody to cast? Okay, well, I think. All right. Well, a generic post is out in discussions. If you'd like to come be the analyst for this, but I have dedicated myself to this game one. I will see this game one out completely because it is my job. It's what I signed up to do. We are going to be going ahead and get a nice little trade right there. The Lux Q goes ahead and barely misses. But still, right now, it's very well ahead for this, as that's going to be a nice little ace in the hole right there, almost confirming that kill. But Solomon Khan is right there to go ahead and confirm that one right now. Hextech is taking low. He will die to Xin Zhao W. There is the Hecarim ultimate. He's just doing way too much damage, and that's a double kill for Solomon Khan. Able to kill the Goat Mom, able to kill the Spearman, and he will be a 2-0 horsey. As now it's actually a Oh, wait a second. Flora just flashed. And now Solomon Khan is going to go ahead and get himself the execution unless Taco can hit the W. No, he misses it. He misses the W, and Solomon Khan executes himself. As now it's going to be the Realm Warp inside for him, and he's so good, he gets outplayed! Well played by Vici, going to go ahead and get the solo kill on Mordekaiser, using the Fear Beyond Death perfectly right there. Able to just time it as well with a nice, E to knock Mordekaiser back into tower range before Mordekaiser can W fully because of the stun lock animation for it. That's going to be the calling used right there on Lucian, trying to do as much damage onto Caitlyn as possible. But she is still extremely healthy after that entire round of burst just goes left field. Whew. Pretty action-packed so far. This is so far. This is still REV's game to lose, and I do hope that it is not their only game they play. I do like right now that the Kayle is slowly tuning ahead more than the Annie, only in terms of CS right now. The CS around the board is very, very fluctuating. This Caitlyn already having Gale Force at 8 minutes. The little, you can do the little MasterCard thing in your head. As they did it at Worlds, as that Q is going to hit right there. Fichi going to be going ahead, eating that empowered Q. And this is a lot of damage right there onto Taco. The Gale Force doesn't confirm it. Solomon Khan will slay the Hextech Dragon. Lux using that ultimate just about already a quarter of the way back because Lux ultimate is balanced. Solomon Khan is going to be going ahead and diving onto that kill. Will force the Soraka ultimate. Solomon almost dies for it himself. I don't feel like you can be here, Soraka, because as soon as you are hit with that, you are done for. Tower doesn't even focus Caitlyn until way too late. And that is another kill going to Hextech. Right now, it is the Caitlyn versus Kayle show in this game. As much as it's possible, Nubity does have the flash available, does have the ultimate available, does not going to use it, though, to stun lock the Kayle. Taco barely dodges the Lux ult right now, but it will walk ahead on it! Yeah, that's exactly what I kind of expected. Lux Caitlyn being extremely impressive right now. Lux almost dying to the tower, not walking away in time, thinking that she can get it. But that is first tower falling at about 1050. Lux will claim that gold. She did last hit it, but the team-wide gold is still extremely nice. As now it is going to be going ahead. A nice little dodge there by Fichi. Going to be blocking the emote there. And Mom Soraka is now getting ran down again by a big horseman, who is now going to go ahead and kill him, but is now going to be enough to flash! She will confirm it! Taco Nova saves the support's life with the exhaust. Well played, Mr. Taco. Well played. Gets the nice shutdown onto Solomon Khan. Very well done. Very sorry. My cat is screaming at the door because he wants to be let in and drink water. Now, very interesting things to note here. Top lane, the gold difference is very little, as now Jin Zhao, okay, Nubity dropping the ultimate a bit prematurely. Didn't have the stun up for it, so I was very sad, but that's nice tower plating going right there to then. No Annie ultimate for the time being. Hextech is going to go ahead and find Jin Zhao, and it will not matter because the Sheriff already has his number. Is going to be a nice little clearing vision mid lane as well. So far, the Fluoride just has to do his best to stop this team's bleeding. It's one of the bloodier games so far Revolution has had, but it's the bloodiest game where they are also still in a position to drive the game. I say that, but it is still a 5k gold lead. Right now, that Kayle hyper carry is the reason why you would win this game, I believe. As now Minisoka is going to go ahead and use the Realm of Death. Sorry about that. I was playing Rise the other day. And we'll go ahead and get the solo kill returned on to Fichi. Just making sure that that tower dive failure was a fluke earlier. As now it is just pretty much high CS differentials all over the board. Solomon Khan is there as well, just to help him secure that as well. Hextech is just doing a lot of damage to this Kayle. They just send the bot lane mid with... Oh, they send all three mid, actually. No one is going to go bot to shove in that wave for the tower plating as well. As now that's going to be the Lux ult right there on the Hextech, who's going to go ahead and get engaged on. The calling is right there. Not enough. It's going to be Right now, this is dangerous territory for the Kale, for the Soraka. Yes, there is no Luxalt, but it will be coming up very soon. It does have the Flash Timbers back up. Hextech does have the Gale Force completed as well. That is right there. That was Gale Force territory if she was able to use it. That's the Flash going forward. And now we have another fight here. Top of Soraka. Ultimate has been used. Fiji will miss the E. Will now flash in. Trying to miss a kill. Mini Sogardi will kill him through the shield. Fiji will go ahead and confirm one right now. Will not confirm the other. Solomon Khan fighting Jinzhou will eat the empowered Q to death. And no one else dies around the map so far. A nice 2-for-1 trade for Revolution in the top lane. Cool, thank you. As now the Kale ultimate was used for the first time this game, dodging that Lux ultimate. Already has the Luden's Echo completed at 14 minutes, but Kale is going to back right now. Does not have the Nashers yet, actually. Can you check Kale Gold? 4.6k. Huh. Just not going to take Nashers. Okay, well, that's fine. Thank you very much. Oh, yeah, that's right. She went, Merchant. Not Merchant. Berserker's Greaves first item. My bad. That's why I'm not the analyst. As now, blue buff is going to be overhead taken by Solomon Khan. They are positioning for this dragon again. Infernal is up, so we still have a chance to see the Chem Fog. By the way, that dragon is absolutely busted. That dragon, if you get the soul, has a 94% win rate. As Lux is going to go ahead and get engaged on here. Is the area out of position? Taco Nova able to not do as much damage as possible. There's the ace in the hole. It accidentally locks on Fiji instead of the Soraka. But here is the level 11 Kale flanking on the side, trying their best to do it. Fiji now wanting to go in on Nubity, forces the calling out. Right there is Kale just clearing vision. But right now, a 1-for-0 as we do get the Chem Fog. Most broken map, by the way. It's absolutely stupid. And now it's going to be a lot of damage onto this Mordekaiser here. Not able to do much. And there is the Fear Beyond Death. We'll go in and secure one. Nobody accidentally walks into Fear range. And Fluoride will claim his first kill of ELU. I'm so used to just someone else saying anything after that. I'm very sorry for the awkward pauses. Now, very well has stopped the bleeding so far. Revolution slowly, still 5k down, but slowly coming back in this way game in a way that's still there. No healing reduction is still done right there. The Gale Force Ward's not going to be able to hit it. Diamond Sun and Fiji are going to be going ahead and getting engaged as Lux will hit the binding onto Lucian. Not much else is going to happen right there, but here's Hextech, the teleport top lane. It's a double, baby! Good night, Jinzhou! He will claim it! He steals it! Or, well, he confirms it. Sorry about that. He was the one doing it. But he confirms it, secures that objective bounty. They don't get that Rift Herald. Fiji will go ahead and find the Horsey out of vision. Does not have the Fear Beyond Death, though. Did start that Titanic Hydra first item. And right now, Revolution is down, but they are not out, baby. Kale is hyperscaling right now. 40 CS up on that Annie. Crown was popped with just the Lucian Q. Very interesting to go Crown. I don't think... The burst is... I mean, I guess the burst is good against Kale. I mean, yeah, because Kale auto attacks later in the game will do a lot more. I just don't know about the Crown yet. As right now, there's going to be multiple scent bot. Mini Soko will find the kill. There's the Lux as well. Nobody will go ahead and do the engage on Taco. Does not have the burst. No Ludens. Means no heavy burst yet. And Taco will just survive himself as they do clear vision right now. Gonna go ahead and drop that Rift Herald mid, it seems. It looks like exactly what you have to do there if you were going to threaten it. As now Soraka is just walking up in the face of Hextech. You can't do that! Here's Solomon Khan from New York Mutants going in again. The Lux Ultimate misses wide, but it looks like it will not matter. Taco Nova's gonna get run down by Solomon Khan. No! The Fear Beyond Death Slow is just enough. Right now, it's a 1-4-2. Kale has entered the fight. Now getting heavily damaged right there. Forced to use the ultimate early. Walks into another snare trap. The flash forward will go ahead and confirm that Hendrick chill. Caitlyn is unstoppable with the right now, it's the Hextech show performing well out of his mind this game so far, doing the best he can. That is going to be another tower fall in mid. They're not going to push for that inhibitor as the Chemfog Dragon is coming up soon. It's coming up in about a minute and a half. So that's the next objective to watch out for. This Rift Herald is dying quite soon though, so they have to push this out if they want to use it. Mom will go ahead and find the Mordekaiser, but we'll just let the big man back. Not going to stop him. They will go ahead and spot that control ward. And now this is the waiting game for Revolution. Wait for this Kale to scale. But it's a 7k gold deficit at almost 20 minutes right now. This is the time for them to wait and strike. Because if... Okay, thank you very much. Oh, hi, Hopeless.
Hello.
Hi, are you my analyst?
I am.
I just read something in discussion that I don't want to repeat. Welcome to the cast. It's a pleasure to have you here, as now the Predator is going to be popped by Solomon Khan just to force them off this objective. I assume you've been watching the game?
I have not. Get me up to speed real quick. Good.
Right now, it is Season 2 debuts for the Revolution right now. Mom, I didn't do it, I swear, Piano Ninja, and Fluoride, the Master Tier sub-player. Right now, it's been pretty close game so far, but New York Mutants has always been in the gas pedal. They've always had the advantage, the tempo as well, and they've always just had the massive gold difference as well. Right now, the gold difference is almost about 7k right now, as they are going to go ahead and engage on Fichi right here, right now. We'll use the EOA in the other position, just trying to run. Piano Ninja just doesn't move right then and there. Jin Zhao goes in and is Mordekaiser ulted, does use the ultimate, trying to not do much because you have to ult while not auto attacking the champion for it to count as a knockback, and that is the Chem Fog Dragon taken right there. Soul point coming up at 26 minutes for New York Mutants, who are just looking to probably Baron now and end this game.
Yeah, I don't want to hear for much of this, but that seemed like a pretty easy fight for them, kind of overall. I would have liked to see what they did in the early game to secure such a massive gold lead. They're up 8k gold and 10 kills. They've probably got this in a pretty good spot for them to just...
They just
take the final objectives
Soraka
and go out. Just kept killing Soraka.
Yeah, they just kept killing Soraka. Fluoride now going to be taking huge damage right there. Taco Nova able to flash away. There is the teleport from Nubity. Now has the flash tippers bear up. The Lux there finds two. Soraka will be able to flash away. Solomon Khan is super low. The Fear Beyond Death will not confirm it because Hextech is godlike and will save Solomon Khan's life. This is...
Wait, we should just turn back onto that Baron instead of pushing these waves.
I agree, but it is also interesting with Fimbulwinter going to come out for that Hecarim.
Ooh.
You know, Fimbulwinter.
It's a lot of extra tanky stats, which is not something you normally see on the current iteration of Hecarim, ever since they kind of forced him to go more bruiser rather than the tank Hecarim that you got to see last season.
Yeah, but Fimbulwinter's kind of an insane item right now.
It is an insane item. I'm not blaming the choice. I just find it interesting that he decided to go for the tankier route rather than just more bruisery.
I think Asterix Gauge would also help out here.
Yeah.
Something, even though Asterix is kind of doo-doo. Because most bruiser items are kind of doo-doo, unless if they're broken, then they're abused by ADCs. But that's just the top lane meta. Right now, the final dragon is coming up soon in about 2.5 minutes. Baron is being positioned. They are going to be getting vision there. Nice blue ward. Very well put by Mr. Taco Nova. We'll go ahead and secure vision there. As now this looks like the trigger is ready to be pulled. Here's the Hecarim dropping the Predator. We'll go ahead and engage right there onto Kale. Mom is pushed backwards from the fear. The Flash Timber Stun will find another Taco. Nova has fallen as well. Fluoride will not be long for this world. Barely survives it right now. There's the ace in the hole. Will not fall to it. The Collector doesn't proc. Barely alive, that Kale. Limping away. Does have the teleport available here for the possible flank, but there is absolutely no vision for them to be able to teleport to on this blue side. Revolution is going to lose this Baron. They are 10,000 gold down right now, and this is looking very unfortunate. Oh, Lux is instantly going to go ahead and engage right there, and Xin Zhao is dead.
Yeah, they didn't have any options up after they took down their the Revolution's bot lane there to really be doing this. Not that they have the items and stats to do that anyways.
That was kind of unfortunate to watch. Shadow Flame also completed on the side of Annie. Interesting.
It's flat pen.
Oh.
That's really what she wants.
That headshot damage was insane. Already with this Caitlyn, huge item, having the Gale Force, having the Collector, has the RFC, is going for that Infinity Edge next as well. It is going to start hurting.
Yeah, if you think they hurt now, it actually gets like 100%.
Much worse.
100. That's like a literal one shot with IE. Comes from a Caitlyn main.
That was a bit nasty. Right now, Revolution just kind of biding time, trying to stop as much as they can. One of their longest games already of the season so far. They do hit that 25-minute mark a while ago, but now here's Fluoride on the flank, just trying to offer as much support as he can. Hextech is able to just auto him away, though, not able to do much. Drops the headshot damage onto Kale. Right now, that's Xin Zhao going to go ahead and engage with. That's the Caitlyn E right there. The goes forward by the by the Lucian will not be enough. That's going to be Hecarim coming in, executing the Goat Mom. Xin Zhao will fall as well. Vici is going to miss the Fear Beyond Death. Make that a triple kill. The Luxar going in, getting a field goal. Here, the Predator is procced right now. Hextech will go ahead and find him with the blue ward. Make that a quadra kill. 4v5 clean ace for New York Mutants. And at 26-35, we'll go ahead and take game 1 of the series versus the Revolution.
I know it came in late, but that looked pretty clean for them. Or for NYM, they're coming in and just sweeping the field, it looks like.
Well, that was... Yes. Right. Unfortunately, I have already made plans for doing Clash as well. And after Clash, I'm going to go hang out with my girlfriend and watch Netflix. As much as I would love to cast this series as well, I will leave you in the hands of my trusty jungler, Hopeless. I hope you treat him well. Please don't be rough with him.
I doubt I can roughhouse him too much.
All right. Right now, we will be taking a small, quick little break as teams will get ready to go into their next game. Thank you very much for joining me for Game 1 right now. We will return with Hopeless and Soko as your casters for Game 2.
All right. Hello, guys. It's me.
We have returned. Right into draft. Rev already banning the Hecarim, and then the Tryndamere response from New York Mutants.
So, Hopeless, were you here for game 1?
I was here for the last half.
So, I didn't catch a lot of game 1, so I assumed the Hecarim was an important ban.
Hecarim did show up in the first game. I didn't see its early application, so can't attest to that, but they did seem to get ahead very quickly. What I do want to actually point out here is Revolution banning both Caitlyn and Jinx.
Yeah, definitely
Not
seems
only-
like they want to take Hector off some hyper carries.
Yeah, not only two ADCs with arcane skins, but also the two best ADCs right now. So
Right.
it looks like they're pushing for the mutants to pull out something a little bit different in the bot lane.
So we see the top lane is right off the bat a Gnar first pick into a Jace counter pick for Minisoka.
Okay.
And then we got the Lux lock in. And we've seen Machisimo do Lux bot lane, so would not be surprised if that's a Lux support.
I do believe that went mid last game.
Oh, all
So
right.
that might be a return of the Lux mid. But you can flex that in at least 3 different positions. A couple more if you're a little bit crazy, but
A little adventurous.
yeah, a little bit adventurous. That's a better word. Thank you.
Then we got the Jin response. I suppose it's just a comfort pick. And we're gonna. All right. So I suppose.
Oh no, that was a Lux support. I did
Yeah,
not
it looked like
go
it
for
was a
scanning
Lux
mid.
support. Yeah. I remember just
Built
seeing
too much
Jin
AD.
point out in a
Well,
couple of
not real support.
True, true. Not a real support. Pokemon 316 is Gulpin, Sonny. My favorite Pokemon, of course. All right, so we see the bot lanes rounded out for both teams at the end of the first draft. I honestly don't know about the Vayne pick. Yeah, it's really only great into the Gnar so far.
Even then, I would say there's probably better picks.
Yeah,
In total comparison.
that is why it's a little surprising to me, but maybe they just wanted to ensure no other AD carries got banned out. Either way,
Yeah,
if they're picking at R3, we're assuming it's comfortable for Hector.
Yeah, I'm pretty sure I've seen him on that before, but it wouldn't. I would definitely would have liked to see a little bit more of a front line from Revolution before seeing New York Mutants pick a Vayne.
I can agree. I can agree. Would have liked to see their comp be a little rounded out. Then we got 2 more mid bands going towards the sub fluoride on the side of Revolution.
Mm-hmm. They also banned the Annie that the New York Mutants played mid lane last time. I said Sejuani is an interesting pick here.
All right, they have no melees to fully utilize that Sejuani
They have
pass.
the Jace melee form would work.
We'll call half a melee.
Half a melee.
Half a melee character. But it is more of a front line. It's a little strange. We'll have to see if there are 5 rounds out the comp. Because right now they have a little bit of poke and a little bit of engage, and it's hard to know what they're playing for here, really.
Yep.
Xin Zhao, really good pick. I didn't do so well last game, I suppose, with going 2-8, but we obviously didn't see the circumstances that led to that, or at least I didn't. So we'll have to see how it works out. And it looks like they might be picking a Jax B5.
That does look like it's going to be a Jax mid lane.
Certainly does.
Unless they're pulling something over my eyes.
So I believe the sub Florid is actually he plays top lane. So Jax is a character that I do believe he has played and is comfortable on. So taking it mid, probably not horrible for him.
No, I think he's got good. I looked at his response, and it's going to be a Malphite.
Okay.
Unless you're going, even if you're going full tank, I don't think that wins. At least 1v1.
I think that is why that is a Malphite support.
Ooh.
We've seen Machismo play Malphite support once before, I think. So I think this is the Lux getting flexed mid, Malphite support, Jace top, from the looks of it. We'll have to see when we load in, but that is how it's looking. Can, sure. Yeah, so we did play Jax recently with Lethal Tempo. He's been playing a lot of Akshan.
Oh.
I suppose he knows how to pilot Jax, if not this season, definitely last season. So I can see why Akshan was banned against him. Seem to be picking it a lot. Now, if I'm to look at these comps from the completely not considering the players or the teams, just purely based on the champs, I can probably see what REV is going for a little bit more. They have a little bit of a dive comp with the Xin Zhao, Jax, Gnar. Jhin doesn't really fit too much into that, to be honest, but everything else is pretty well rounded, except for the bot lane. And then on New York side, you just have Sejuani Malphite engage with Jace, Lux, Vayne in the backline, and it's a lot more front to back. So the way I see it is if Sejuani and Malphite can prevent the engage of Gnar, Jackson, and Zhao onto their backline, NYM is just going to win front to back.
Yeah, really, they don't even have to prevent the engage from Revolution there, because they have more mobility tools in their backline for at their disposal. Really, all they need is Sejuani and the Malphite to get onto the Jhin and Nami. In general, I actually think I like Revolution's draft more. But that's only because of all the utility they have between the Curtain Call and the Tidal Wave, and just the CC and everybody's kits. If they actually get a little bit more of a scrappier fight, which is really what they want, they kind of want these 2v2s, maybe 3v3s even, going down in this early to mid game, I think would be really, really strong for this team. Versus New York Mutants, well, they have these some scrapping potential. I think really they want to go for that team fight, like you said.
Yeah, definitely. Probably going to have to wait to get the Jace, Lux, Vayne late game online, but the counter to that is that you're going to have a late game Jax on a guy that knows how to pilot it. So,
well, I think it's more scary is the Jax when it starts ramping up in the mid lane, because you're just starting to scale on these carries and the Jax can already one-shot you.
Definitely.
So you have to worry about that threat. If they can actually use that correctly on the map and have him pushing a lane opposite of the objective, that could be really, really impactful depending on what they actually end up pulling off.
Yeah, mid lane roams do seem to be pretty. Mid lane roams are always pretty impactful. So we'll have to see how the mid lane plays out in this early game, because if the Jax can survive the early poke from the Lux being arranged into melee matchup.
Well, it is actually Malphite if you.
Oh, it is a Malphite mid and a Lux support. Okay, so it's switched around.
But that is a good point that the Jax is mid and it's not shoved in the top island. So the Jax actually has like 6 to 11 has a map pressure that you wouldn't normally have from a Jax. So I'm very intrigued to see what they're all going to end up doing with that and how that's going to pan out in this game.
I do like the Malphite going mid. I suppose the Malphite and Lux were both, they could have been flex picks. We obviously don't know why they drafted what they did, but the Malphite does have a pretty good matchup to Jax, simply just because of his E, lowering attack speed, and him being able to escape pretty much every engage. I like that adaptation from New York Mutants. If it was an adaptation, if they planned it all along, then kudos to them as well. This was a good way to round out the draft, and hopefully they can execute on it well.
Yeah, I do think that they were kind of locked into having that Malphite mid, because if you have a Malphite and Vayne bot versus a double ranged, really long range with the Jhin Nami, I don't think your bot lane really has the tools that can survive and get that Vayne to scale before basically the Jhin gets hyperinflated.
Yeah, definitely.
So
Malphite would probably get poked out of lane a little too easily.
It's a two-party game down there, so if your support can't step up, you can't step up the farm either.
Right, and that would just balloon into an even bigger lead.
Depending if you play the waves.
guess from the side of New York, what I'd probably like to see is, I mean, last game, obviously the carry went to Hectex getting all the kills for New York. We're gonna see it's probably gonna be a little harder on the Vayne having later spikes than Caitlyn. But the top matchups seem to be pretty even based on the KDAs. Although Minisoko was a little bit ahead. So we'll see if the Jace does have a favorable matchup into Gnar, which is why I'm assuming they picked it after seeing the Gnar. So we'll have to see if he can actually abuse that lane and use that lane proud to maybe get some objectives for his jungler who's on Sejuani, and opposed to the Hecarim, really needs some lane support to be able to do anything in the jungle, if doing objectives at all. So
yeah, what I would like to see from New York Mutants is basically what you said, but I would like to make sure that you get mid and jungle roams going to that top lane and actually getting this Jace ahead, and then being able to allow that Jace to sit in the side lane or to roam down and push this really big pressure onto, or helping the Sejuani into getting those objectives, like you said. Versus Revolution, I think, needs to play through their bot lane as, for the most part, bot and mid.
Yep. The Zinzao's just going to be able to... The Zinzao's obviously going to outskirmish the Sejuani early game, but it won't be enough to kill her, especially due to her passive. So it's going to be interesting, this jungle matchup, because NYM's going to have lane prio early game for the most part, and it's basically going to be if Sejuani can, read the Zinzao's pathing and have be there for counter ganks, and I do think they'll win most 2v2s early game simply because of lane prio.
Yeah.
Now that we're loading at the game, let's see what both teams decide to do for their setup. Standard runes on everyone, pretty much what is expected. Although, so fleet footwork on Jhin, have been seeing that. Lethal tempo on Vayne. After the lethal tempo buffs on the last patch for 80 carries, that has seemed to be more popular. I see he also went lethal tempo on Caitlyn. And lethal tempo Jax as well. So it looks like both teams are just defending for an invade.
I gotta say, it's speaking of runes, quite interesting to see the first strike on the Jace here. If used properly, they can really let that Jace get ahead. But it always feels like a knife edge when you're trying to play towards that extra gold there.
Right. Well, we'll have to see how he uses it in the lane and if it was worth the payout. Sacrificing what utility he would have gotten from Phase Rush.
Phase Rush is the most common take on the Jace?
Yep.
Okay.
Already going in for an aggressive trade in the mid lane, Jackson to the Malphite. Does end up losing out because of Malphite Q, but he wants to keep going.
Hey, he's got his abilities up on a shorter cooldown, so he can really push the aggressive here, especially once he gets the Malphite passive down, which is really the reason why he lost that first trade. Is he didn't actually get to do any meaningful damage. He just took down the Malphite passive.
Yeah, well, he's jumping in every chance he... Oh, he does take a tower shot, though. It does
a little bit forward.
Minisoko going in top lane for a good proc of the passive, and he does seem to be winning the top matchup so far. Mid lane just getting shoved in. That is mid prio for REV so far. Bot lane is also in an even state. Both teams just farming up. Poke is definitely going down on both sides here. There's already a TP from Gnar. That was an interesting look. Lux had to burn both sums, but the Vayne didn't have to blow anything.
Yeah, I do think that was more keeping the Jhin alive.
I suppose. And now the only question is, was it worth it? Because Gnar is dropping waves. It seems like Jace not necessarily holding a freeze, but the wave is keeping in the middle. seems like the wave is stacking. We'll have to see when it pans up top. Mid, stacking for NYM as well. The wave is pretty much centered. Nar's losing a lot of CS already. 9 CS down. Trade in the bot lane. Vayne still has both sums. And there's the flash, and that's going to be first blood for Vayne.
That's oh, that was close.
Almost
but definitely one of Vayne's strengths is just being able to chase down. And in this fight here, Nubi's got no mana in the mid lane.
Just stepped up a little too aggressively against the Jax, and that's going to be a trade kill coming in the mid lane. So 2 deaths down bot, 1 death mid on the side of NYM, and double CS for the Jace into the Gnar in the top lane. Yeah, that TP seemed to really hurt him, but now Xin is top, and we're going to see if maybe he's going to get a gank off, as the junglers are on the opposite side of the map. Already Scuttle was secured for him, top side. So Sejuani's going to get bot Scuttle. Good bind by Lux, and dodging the W as well. It's free poke onto the Jhin, who had to pop a potion. Sejuani's looking for something. Exhaust is not up, but it seems like Nami's just going to drop. That root does hit, but outside of tower range, and Solomon is going to be safe.
Yeah, as soon as that slow connected, it was just a free game for the Vayne to chase down with her passive and keep stacking those silver bolts. I did want to point out that I do believe the right before that play, Sejuani had a slight tempo advantage of about 1 camp, which has thus been turned on her in the jungle, which I found kind of interesting, as I don't consider her usually a very fast clearing champion.
Definitely not. The Sejuani did go for the full clear. Possibly
full clear.
I think would be full clear going back to clear bot camps and then resetting. So that's a full 8 camps plus Scuttle. And it seemed to. She is now a little bit behind. Zin's on map first, but I guess we're gonna see what lanes she could play off of. The Sejuani is gonna probably look to either go top side for camps or bot side for dragon. And another good trade. Gnar can only just jump away in the top lane, while mid lane is the biggest advantage Rev has. And the Malphite, despite giving up the kill, nobody's doing a good job of mitigating any advantage he would be giving otherwise. He seems to be trading back almost even on these plays, and he actually gets a kill. That was a bit of an overextend by Fluoride. What do you think about that?
I think he was being a little bit greedy and just pushing into, seeing what he can do. But we're seeing a fight between the junglers here. But there's more members for NYM.
Good CC layer, and that was just disrespectful by the Zinzao to walk up in the river without Prio on his lane.
I can't say I know what he was trying to go for there.
Yeah, I assume he just wanted to check maybe Dragon Vision, but Solomon was there first, foregoing those top camps to be able to set up a Dragon first, and it definitely paid off. That was another kill going towards the bot lane, which are now 202, 201, and bot is ballooning. Mid lane is trading even, only 8 CS down. Top lane is almost double CS ahead still, and jungle is ahead CS as Sejuani. This is looking like the dream scenario for New York.
Yeah, they've already got all the tools that they need to set up. I would like to see them again attack that top lane and really punish the Gnar just a little bit more. But we're actually seeing 3 people from Revolution collapsing on the Jace.
We are. Jace does have flash. What can he do to get out of that?
Also having this fight down here, so it's another kill.
It was a cross-map play,
gets.
and the New York comes out ahead again. Jace can recall. He still has TP. So it's not like he's going to be losing out on that wave. But if he does TP back, he's at risk for getting dove. As Zinzao's still at Krugs, but Jax is
in the area.
Leading. Yeah. All right. So it looks like he's going to be safe.
Getting away with a little bit of highway robbery, if you ask me.
A little bit. And this is a little disrespectfully walking up, but he knows that they can't engage on him without him just eating the Xin away. Solomon's now here, and it's going to be an ult onto the Zinzao, who...
Zin's still a level 5 versus Sejuani.
Oh, the empowered shock blast takes him out. And nobody is tanking tower as they try and maybe kill Peachy,
There
and
you
they
go.
do. 2 kills going towards the Jace.
Exactly what I
Is
was
that what
talking
you were
about.
looking for? Is
Yeah,
that
getting
are
those
you
people
happy?
up there, getting that happen. He should be able to shove in this wave in the next one, and then get a fruit back, and he should be almost at an item completion compared to the Sheen and Longsword on the Gnar.
Gnar also
The
without
lane's
TP.
unplayable.
Yeah.
Ours doesn't have TP either to respond and get there faster. But the Jax is up there looking for kills while we're still fighting bot lane.
This
At every
bot lane
chance
is
we get.
atrocious. They're trying to fight the Jax. He has ult. Okay. Trying to maybe trade on to Solomon, and he does, but will Minisoka get the trade kill? He does. 3-0 on the Jace. I don't think that's going to be worth it.
Yeah, 1-for-1 trade, but you've left your mid or your top laner against a really strong counter matchup. I'm not sure if he's going to be able to do anything in lane, especially. We'll have to see if they can use a really good Narbar in team fights.
That's pretty much the only hope they've got at this point, because they are falling behind very rapidly in every lane, except for maybe mid is where they're catching up simply because of those 2 kills and a little bit of a CS advantage.
Yeah. I do have to say, I find it very interesting that Hex on the Vayne here is able to stay up so far forward when his support was on a recall. The jungle's in the area, and I don't think Revolution really caught on to how vulnerable this Vayne was for the last couple minutes, and just didn't punish
just
as much as they really could have.
Oh, they're
The
getting a
TP's
TP,
coming
though.
in bot lane again.
This is going to be a kill for the
Jhin
Lux,
dies.
and Gnar is mega. Flash by Lux. Lux is going to drop here, but maybe Hectex is opting to fight this with exhaust. Is going to get hit by the Q. Is going to flash away, and I think he does kill Gnar.
Oh.
Will he be able to
just
kill
kiting
Xin
this
before?
out?
Oh, Xin does get the kill. Sejuani does not have Glacial Prison, as I believe it was used mid to kill the Jax. So it's gonna be a 1-for-1 overall, or a 2-for-2 overall, with the Jhin also dropping to the Lux at the beginning of the fight, and the Lux dying as well.
That was starting to look really good for the Vayne, getting that kiting, being able to hit all 4 members out, including Jhin. But that first auto on the empowered Xin Q just meant she got through her health bar.
Yeah, very close to really just making that a very one-sided ordeal for New York. But although it was an even trade, you could say that even trades are not in the advantage of REV, as they are still 5.3k gold down in this game.
Well, you got to take what you can. In most cases, as when you're losing, an even trade isn't all that bad, because they've probably got a shutdown, and sure enough, I'm pretty sure that Vayne had a shutdown, 300 gold.
Yep.
It was actually in favor of Revolution overall, which is why I would call that play pretty greedy from New York Mutants. I was kind of surprised when the Vayne didn't flash over the Dragon Wall, and instead tried to flash away just to gain more distance for her kiting.
Definitely an interesting play, and here we're going to see the Jax getting condemned away, but he flashes forward, and that's going to be another kill going towards Jax, who now has no counter-strike, so might drop to the Vayne, but manages to Q away. Vayne getting hit by the bubble as well, another flash getting dropped, and that's a lot of sums on the side of REV, but the kill still does go over to the Jax, who's arguably the main carry of that team at this point, having 3 kills on him.
So I do have to say that was good use again of that utility with the curtain call, slowing down that Lux, so she couldn't get away from the Jax no matter how hard they all tried. Even though he did have to commit the flash.
Yeah, we're seeing this play top, but
Minisoka
Minisoka does auto under tower to take aggro, but that is almost a kill back on Fichi, who ulted him under tower with minions still there, and the tower didn't auto him until the very end when Minisoka actually autoed the Gnar while being under tower. That was maybe a bit of a desperation play.
Does have his mythic done already, and I didn't see the purchase, but between him and Jax are the only 2 mythics in the game at this moment, and I want to wager a guess that he probably had his first.
Yeah, overall. He is sitting at a pretty near 10 CS per minute on this Jace with 4 kills. This guy's hyper
pretty happy.
He is sitting pretty in the top lane. double the CS of the Gnar. And again, this if REV doesn't find a very good trade, or at least pick up some objective bounties once they spawn, it's going to balloon very quickly.
Yeah, I would have to wonder how they actually deal with that. And the only thing I can think of is to use the Jax. But if you're using the Jax to nullify the Fed Jace, how are you going to put pressure across the map?
That is the question that we'll have to see if they can find some way to deal with it, or if they're going to slowly bleed out. But these Vayne trades are getting extremely impressive. But we do see Xin looking for a bot gank.
Wrapping around on the bot side. Sejuani's in the area.
She is. Blascone is up. And it looks like they're going to catch him out, actually. Yep. This is Xin Zhao might just be done for. Glacial Prison is up if need be, but it doesn't seem like they have to use it. Yeah. He's just going to drop. And Glacial Prison goes onto the Jhin.
Yeah,
Now,
so
Jax is
got
here,
the first roam.
Yeah, Sejuani is not dying. There's a Malphite ult which misses, unfortunately, but it doesn't matter. They are much too far ahead, and this is going to be another kill onto Vayne. And the Sejuani finishes the Jhin. Good fight overall. While top tower is also almost gone, this Gnar is just not able to do anything every time he goes for something.
Really good spacing from the Jace to make sure that he can't get swept under the tower with the Gnar ultimate. But that bot lane play was very unfortunate for Evolution, as they just got picked off mostly one by one and were stuck in a numbers disadvantage that whole time.
Yeah, Xin was looking for something, having been in the bush, but he didn't pull the trigger. Gave time for Sejuani to come, and this is also going to be the top tower dropping.
They'd moved earlier on that and singled out the Vayne or the Lux. They might have been able to try for something, actually get a little bit more off that play, but in the end, it didn't work out for them.
Yeah, they weren't able to execute, fortunately. This is going to be Minisoko looking to take a camp away. I don't know if he... Okay, now he knows that Xin is here, and he's able to just get out with the Blast Cone. Jax is also up here. He knows that someone's there because of the Blast Cone vision and the Vision Cone, Scryer's Bloom, to be technical. And he's just going to take a reset. All right. Reset's coming out on the side of REV as well. See if they make any important purchases. Jax just getting a dagger and a longsword. Gnar's still not able to complete the Sunder. And nothing notable out of Nami's pockets either.
Yeah, whereas on the other side, you see Everfrost coming out to Sejuani, the Immortal Shield Bow, and we actually have the Ginsu's Rage Blade on the Vayne, and the Luden's Echo from the Lux. So
Winter's Approach also just got finished as well by Sejuani.
Yeah, good eye on that. They've already got everyone they need with their items, and they can start looking for these mid-game fights starting right now.
Yeah, certainly. This is Minisoko trying to take away the blue buff, which he certainly can, and he's dealing a lot of damage. But here comes the curtain call. Again, that utility you're mentioning, trying to slow up the Jace, but it seems to either get canceled or just can't capitalize, and that's going to be the Gnar probably falling. He ends up trying to flash away. Can Jace switch to Hammer Form and kill him? Meanwhile, in the bottom of the fight, Nami's going to just barely get away. Vayne is going to be not able to finish him off and might die under tower. No, able to avoid that and does pick up a double kill due to avoiding the Gnar stun. Gnar did have ult. Don't know if he thought he was out of range or just didn't press it, but that the ult did not go through. Jhin also walking back in, probably thinking Gnar was going to able to land CC, but Hacktech's able to dodge away from it, just meaning that ends up being a 2-for-0.
Yeah, Rev has to kind of realize that this map belongs to the mutants right now. They need to come find a small section where they can actually hold, which right now they can't even hold their base. We do have to see the Jax on the flank here.
But they do pick him up, and they're looking to go in on the Lux, who does flash away.
I don't think they can really contest. They're taking way too much damage from the Silver Bolts from the Vayne, who's
still dealing damage.
Spreading through the entire Revolution team.
There he goes. Accelerated Shock Blast just short of killing the Jhin. And Hextex is really low now. He's going to have to back out until they land the good Lux binding, but the Jax is not able to pick up the kill. Ignite is ticking. Maybe it kills the Vayne. It doesn't happen to kill the Vayne. That's a big shutdown going on to the Jax, the main carry of the team. Xinult is down as well. They're getting a TP back in from from Nubity. Probably not able to do much. Ulting back in. And the Jace damage is enough to finish off Xin Zhao. Switching to Hammer Form soon. And the Jhin actually does kill off Nubity at the end. They are going to flash for him as well. Can Jace... Oh, the Lux gets
That was
the
actually
kill.
minion
Minions killed it.
damage. I believe
Yeah,
an
the
auto
Jace
from the
did
super.
not hit. But the shutdown did go on off the Vayne onto the Jax, which is probably the most notable thing during that fight. New York maybe overextended a little bit, gave away kills they didn't have to, but ultimately, I don't think, I really don't think it matters. This is a 13.2k gold difference we're looking at. So,
holy cow! I don't think it'll matter in the long run. I do think that the mutants are still in a really good spot there, but they were able to find, as I said, that one place that they can hold and punish the overextension from the mutants, which really got a little bit overzealous in thinking they could end.
There's the Glacial Prison going down to the Nami. The Xin did end up flashing to try and steal Drake, but it didn't work out. This is going to be Nami almost dropping to the accelerated shock blast. Not quite enough. The Jace is just getting a massive damage onto the Jax, who's getting abused right now, despite being the most ahead player on the team on the side of Rev. And wow, yeah, a 7-0 Jace and a 10-2 Vayne. Their carries are where they need to be.
There's not much to say as the curtain call comes down looking for this Jace, but they've got plenty of front line.
Yeah, Jace did end up blowing flash. I think that's another thing of note, really.
Better to
his
keep
team
safe.
was blocking, but yeah.
He's a little bit greedy, I think, with him staying here, but he can still shoot at those accelerated shot blasts.
There's the kill onto the Vayne, though. Jace not going to be able to hammer form in. He's going to have to just run with... Oh, he does go in.
Oh.
That's a 10k gold shutdown onto the Xin.
Oh,
and
okay.
this was an overextend from New York. A massive overextend. Yep.
Yeah, yet again, they have really hot heads and find themselves in the enemy base with not a lot of resources, health bars, ultimates, summer spells. So they just kind of get collapsed on and chased down here as we even see this cross-map chase to try and kill the Malphite. I guess free gold.
He's going to be dropping to
They
Xin.
have,
I do think they should have given that to Jax. The more gold on him, the better. He is picking up a Wit's End for the Lux and Malphite, but this Vayne and Jace damage is going to be a bit too much to handle in a bit. Jace did complete the Cyrilda's Grudge, sitting on 3 items now. Same with the Vayne, also on 3 items. Whereas Jax is on 1.5.
They're just going to start up the Baron for free. They've got 2 inhibitors down, and there's really nothing Revolution can do. They don't own the jungle anymore.
Yeah, this should have been done instead of what they did.
After they get that second inhibitor or the second inhibitor turret, they should have just backed off.
Yep, just gone straight to Baron. There's no way that they could have gotten any contests. In a closer game, it might have mattered, but they were able to give themselves big enough leads where they're able to go straight to Baron after they wait out their death timers. Yeah, all Rev can do is clear, really. Solomon might have stepped up a bit too much. The Sejuani passive in Glacial Prison going to help him get out.
Minisoko's on the way. If they can 2v5, but I don't think that's happening.
Big damage from Minisoko forcing out Xinult. But it's ultimately it's going to be Solomon stepping up just too far.
This Jace needs to be a little bit careful. He can put up big damage, but if he gets caught, it's got no one near as everyone else is pushing bot lane, which is the smartest move.
Yeah, it's a good move.
As they're
after this
slowly just squeezing the vice to finish off Revolution here.
There's Jace catching the mid wave as well. All 4 are going to stop bot. Baron wave's bot. You got a Baron wave coming in mid, and the Jace poke coming from mid lane as well. This tower is Maybe not this wave, but it seems like it's going to drop eventually.
Yeah, they'll be able to chip it down. What I'm looking for is to see if Revolution has a way to defend this, or if New York Mutants once again steps up and commits to an over-aggressive play.
Yeah, we'll have to see what's happening topside. That's an engage onto by the Zinzao. This is good damage from Mini Soko, and he's just gonna kill him straight up. Zin thought he could take him, but that item discrepancy is just too much to warrant to justify that fight. But that's gonna be a Jax flashing in and killing Jace, who did not respect the flash. Meanwhile, four members still alive on the side of NYM. That's Vayne chipping down the Gnar, killing the Jax and killing the Jhin as well, and that's going to be the game. Yeah. Ultimately, this game I think can just be summed up by win lane, win game. They got insane lane different advantages, and it translated to, despite them throwing a couple fights by mispositioning and overstaying, they still had enough items to just do whatever they wanted.
Yeah, I gotta say, I'm really impressed with the mechanical capability of NYM's bot lane being able to win this nearly a disadvantaged lane. I would say most people would say Jhin Nami versus Vayne Lux is probably the Jin's favor. But then I'd say, as I wanted to look for, they did get the 3-man roam to the top side and get that Jace accelerated. So give him props on the mechanical skill and the observation to know what lane to eventually hit once their bot lane was already rolling.
Yeah, definitely great execution. They knew what they had to do and they did it well. All right.
It does look like Revolution, once again, will forfeit their third game. So I do believe that is all that we have wrote. Unless you have any final thoughts, Soko, this game or this series ends 3-0 to New York Mutants.
Yeah, I mean, I guess the only things I've noted is that this is New York Mutants' last regular season game. They have a bye week, week 9, so this will put them squarely, I believe, in a bye week position for the week 1 of playoffs. They had to do really well this game, and they did. They got the 3-0 they wanted. They played exceptionally well with a couple of misplays, but they have plenty of time to iron that up. Playoffs. Hopeless, anything that you think they could work on before playoffs, seeing as this was their last regular season series?
Oh, it does look like, in my opinion, that they could bring the team cohesion together and make sure they're all on the same page when they're making plays. You can see a couple times when they're just chasing down and one person's pushing a little bit aggressively. It gets them into some of the messes that we noticed. But overall, I think they have plenty of tools to be able to succeed well in the playoffs. But their capability to affect that is over. And we'll have to see where they land next week. Probably still up in first and second place. I believe they're confirmed second at least. But if I did my math right, I do believe that there's a couple of teams that could potentially push them out depending on how the dice fall.
Well, yeah, kudos to New York. They played this series how they had to. Again, another week, unfortunately not going the way of REV, but they're still playing with a lot of heart and showing a lot of good moments here and there. So we'll have to see if they can maybe pull out a win in their last game in week 9.
Very good.
But other than that, yeah, that's all we have. This was week 8, REV versus New York Mutants, and yeah,